Hello students, you are thinking that today I have taken this cup of water. So you are thinking, sir, why I have taken this cup of water, right? No, not for drinking. Today we are going to do and we are going to discuss a very important and very cool experiment, that is Archimedes principle. Very nice principle actually. So let's do the experiment and let's discuss about the principle. Let's start. So let's do the experiment. Okay, students, you can see the cup is there, and now let's put this mass into this cup. Let's see. You can see the clear level of water here. You can say that, sir, why I have not taken marker. That's my mistake. I have forgot to bring a marker here. Now see, I am just pushing this thing. Now one thing you see, whenever I'm trying to push this object, I'm trying to push, see, it is going upwards. That means whenever I'm trying to push this object into the water, something exerted by the liquid is exerting some force of this object. See, this is the object, this is a liquid. Whenever I'm just keeping the keeping the object on the liquid is exerting some force. Whenever you are trying to keep the object, or even you are trying to push the object into the liquid, see, the object is coming upward. Now there must be some force that is actually giving force upward, the upward force. See, I am giving force downwards, that is the weight of the object. Weight of the object is downwards, but whenever I am pushing the object, again and again it is coming upwards. And one more thing, it is not completely sinking. See, it is floating. Now you might think that there is some force which is giving upward force to this object. Now the force that is giving upward force to this object, that is called buoyancy. Buoyancy, buoyant force. The phenomena is buoyancy and the force is called buoyant force. Now, what is Archimedes principle? See here. Whenever I'm just, you see the water level, without the object, you see the water level. This is the water level. Okay. And whenever I am just pushing this into the water, whenever this object is immersed into the water, some water level is raised, right? Some water level is raised. See, I'm just telling very simply, whenever any object is not there, see the water level, and whenever it is going into the water, see, water level is increased. See. Okay, now let's discuss it by an image. So let's discuss it by drawing. Suppose this is the container, this is the cup, and this is the fluid. Fluid doesn't mean only liquid. Fluid means both liquid and gas. Now that was the object. Okay, this is the object. Whenever the object is there, every object has some force, and that is actually its weight. The weight of the object, acting downwards. Weight is acting downwards. Where the weight is acting downwards. Now whenever the object is trying to go downwards, when the object is trying to go downwards due to its weight, এর ওয়েটের জন্য যখন অবজেক্টটা নিচের দিকে যেতে চাইছে, some force by the liquids is acting on the object upwards. I'm repeating it again. Due to the weight of the object is sinking downwards, and the liquid is exerting force upward direction. liquid is exerting the force upward direction. Let's take it at U. Now this upward force, or its name is upthrust, this is called buoyant force. Now what actually Archimedes principle was? Suppose before sinking, I am giving it a level. Before sinking, this was the level of the liquid. Suppose this is the 5-liter liquid. 5-liter liquid. Up to this, the liquid level is 5 liter. Whenever you are sinking the object, or whenever you are just drowning the object, the level of the water is increasing. You all know, obviously the level of the water will be increased, and suppose the level of the water is now 7 liter. That means how much level the water is increased? Up to 2 liter. The volume of the water was 5 liter. Whenever you are pushing the object down, the water level is increased. Right? Now suppose I am asking you, okay, whenever the object is going downwards and upward or upthrust is acting over the object, what is the amount of this upthrust? Calculate upthrust. Can you do that? Yes, we can do that by a principle, that is Archimedes principle. Which principle? Archimedes. The principle of Archimedes. What Archimedes principle is saying? Archimedes principle is saying that whenever the weight is acting downwards, and when the object is first mnemonics. First, how to remember Archimedes principle? If the object is immersed, now immersed can be two types: partially, another is fully. Two type of immerse can be happen. If the object is immersed partially or fully in fluid. देखो, object partially immersed होवे or fully immersed होवे. Object will be partially immersed or fully immersed. Object अगर partially immersed होगा या fully immersed होगा. Fully immersed मतलब पूरा का पूरा डूब जाना. And what does it mean by partially immersed? Means partly it will be drowned. Okay. When the object is partially or fully immersed, an upthrust will be acting on the object. Now, whenever the object is partially or fully immersed, you know, anything is going into the water, it increases the water level. Similarly here also, the water level is increased. Now the thing is, water level is increased by whom? By the object. That means whenever object is immersed in the fluid, partially or fully, it does what? It displaces some liquid. Displaces some liquid means, इसका मतलब क्या? What does it mean? Displaces some liquid. See, the object was here. Water level was here. When you were just trying to push the object into the liquid, the water level is increased by 2 liters. That means that much amount of liquid is displaced by the object. This much amount of liquid is displaced by the object. Whenever object is displacing the liquid, now this amount of liquid has some weight. This displaced liquid has some weight. This weight of the displaced liquid, this should be equal to upthrust. this should be equal to upthrust. Means what? Means, see the water level. The water level is now up to this portion. Now whenever I am trying to put any object into it, it displays some liquid. It displays some liquid. Now how much amount of liquid is displaced? Suppose this much amount, how much level is increased, that much amount of liquid is displaced. The weight of the displaced liquid will be equal to the upthrust. So students, so concluding that, what is Archimedes principle? Archimedes principle tells us, suppose an object, any object that is immersed partially or fully in the fluid. Fluid means not only liquid, means fluid means it can be gas also plus liquid also. Whenever the object is partially or fully immersed in the fluid, now fluid will give an upthrust. Yes or no? The object is going downwards, means the object's weight is acting downwards. Now against its action of the weight, the fluid will give some upthrust force and you have to measure that upthrust. Now how you will measure the upthrust? Suppose you are having 5 liter of liquid and the object is going downwards. The object is going downwards and object is displacing 2 liter more liquid, means water level increased 2 liter, means 5 liter water level was there. The object is going into the liquid and the level is showing now 7 liter, means how much liquid increased? 2 liter level increased. So whenever an object is immersed partially or fully, immersed in a fluid partially or fully, it displaces some liquid or it displaces some fluid, the weight of displaced fluid, remember, the weight of displaced fluid, the amount of fluid displaced by the object. Whenever you are sinking down the object will displace some fluid, na? Not total fluid. The amount of displaced fluid. The weight of the displaced fluid will be equal to upthrust or Buyoant force. That is the Archimedes principle, and the most important thing is that upthrust acts to the center of gravity of the displaced fluid. That's all. Thank you.